So here I go. I'm going to try and fit my health journey into a 10-minute summary video. Wish me luck. So in 2020, I did the online seminar for the Foot Collective, and it was truly amazing. The information about feet and alignment and movement, it really changed my perception or opened up my mind to a new way of thinking about movement and exercise. So I was like, what more can I learn from TFC? Found the Foot Nerd program. And like reading the manifesto to my partner and being like, yes, I want to be open-minded and I want to lead by example and I want to always be like learning and growing and changing my opinions. I was like, yes, I need to do this. Also, a huge part that pushed me towards it was the section about behavior change. Because I'm a personal trainer and I've also studied nutrition, because I was like, most people come to personal trainers to lose weight and, exercise is only a small part of that. So, I wanted to broaden my horizons and study nutrition as well. But I still wasn't having the effect on people's lives that I thought that I would. I honestly set out thinking that I would make these deep, profound changes in people's lives, and I just wasn't seeing that with most people. Even though I felt like I had all of the information and I knew all of the movements and I knew all of the diet tips, it was like leading all these horses to water, but nobody was drinking. And not nobody, I'm my biggest critic. So, there were definitely some people in there that were doing well, but there was those few I was like, what am I doing wrong? So that part about behavior change, I was like, that's going to be really beneficial for me, because it's going to help me actually coach 3 people into like changing their habits. So I started this Foot Nerd program for my clients, and honestly, I finished it for me. It's been the most profoundly life-changing experience that I have had. I loved every moment of it, and everything, even the things that I thought I was good at, they threw me challenges, I've danced since I was 8 years old, and I've always considered myself very flexible. I still cannot, after a year of trying, squat all the way down with my feet together and hold it for 60 seconds. That is something I'm working on, and I have improved so much, and I stretch my calves and roll my feet and work on that every single day, and I will continue until I can do a beautiful single leg pistol squat. That's my aim. That's my goal. But yeah, being able to now look at all my clients and assess their feet and like look at their shoes that they're wearing and just go, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much wearing the wrong shoes and sitting in chairs has absolutely ruined. Like, I have so many clients that come to me with bad knees or hips, and now I look at them all and go, it's sitting and shoes. It's honestly changed my mind so much. And yeah, me as well, like obviously at dancing, we do a lot of stuff feet turned out. So I stand naturally with my feet turned out. So changing that as well, and like rocking that weight back into my heels after reading Katie Bowman's books, it's been really fantastic. Sleep was amazing. I personally have already been a big fan of sleep for a long time. Since starting to be a personal trainer when I was 20, I knew the importance. I knew the moment if I did not get 8 hours sleep and I was trying to wake up at 5 a.m., I was not good enough at my job. I did not have the energy and enthusiasm that a personal trainer needs to yell out at a group of people at 5 a.m. and be chirpy. People come in, they don't want to exercise. I've got to be that motivation for them. Hello, welcome to the gym. If I didn't get 8 hours sleep, I was not that person, and I needed to be that person. So for me, it's the sleep component was more about, I knew instinctively that it was important, but I listened to like every Matt Walker podcast, and I'm reading his book at the moment. Like, I love all the information and like the long-term health effects. It's honestly mind-blowing. So knowing more information and being able to convey that to my clients has been really helpful. Oh my gosh, the mind. So the 30 days of meditation, killer. It took me at least 15 attempts to be able to get that. And I would love to tell you that I did my 30 days and kept going with it, but I didn't. I loved it. And I'd really try and be more mindful in my day now. I still find it difficult to sit down and meditate for long periods of time, but I really do try and like eat my breakfast without any distractions, and I just focus on the food and the flavors of the food, like really trying to find found the 30 days of meditation really beneficial to my stress. I noticed it in my body. I was much more calm when conflicts arose. So trying to create more of a feeling of that throughout my day. But yeah, that is one that I'm definitely going to have to work on. I'm not a sit down and meditate type of person, but I know the benefits and I will continue to work on it. But this is where the behavior change component came in killer for me, because I saw how hard it is. Eating well and exercising has always come easy to me. So when I have clients come in and they struggle, I'm like, why? You know how good it is for you. Why are you struggling so much with this? That was me. Meditation. I read all the information. I knew how good it was for me, and I still struggled. So going through that process and having to make it really appealing for me, and I had to like write up a little calendar and like get pretty texters so that each day after I did my meditation, I could mark it off and it was all pretty. And so having those tactics to then try and help my clients with that the same way. Yeah, and I suppose community for me comes back to why I started my whole health journey. When I was probably 10, I was chubby, I was teased in school. You know, I was left out of games and stuff because the kids thought that I was overweight. I look back at photos, I was chubby, but I wasn't really that big. But I have been insecure about that. I'm not anymore, but that's a really recent thing. Like I'm insecure about my weight from the age of 9 to probably 29. And, you know, I had to start telling my mum, give me rice crackers instead of chips, and give me wholemeal bread instead of white bread, and fruit instead of roll-ups, and all these things that an 11 or 12-year-old shouldn't really be having to do. But it's not that my parents were like being bad. I was eating the same food they were. My metabolism was slower, or I was eating more at school when they weren't aware. I'm not sure, but like they were doing the best job they knew how. And there was a lot of marketing in there and a lot of like trying to keep me happy. You know, I'd see ads for Cocoa Pops or Fruit Loops and say that I want it, and you know they say no artificial colors, or you know they've got the health tick on them, and so mum doesn't think they're that bad even though they are. And then through high school I would either go through stages of starving myself or throwing up my food because I wanted to eat bad when my friends ate bad, but then I knew that I would gain weight and I was really self-conscious about it, so then I would try and throw it up or not eat unless I was with friends and stuff like that, like really bad habits. When I became a personal trainer, there was a really big like bodybuilder culture, so I started like not eating any carbs or any fruit and having a lot of protein bars and protein shakes and like only doing strength training, which I did. I still really love strength training and I did that for a long time, but my guts were no good when I ate that way. I toyed then with being vegan and being vegetarian and being pescatarian and cutting out gluten, and it's only really been in the last 2 years, I would say right around the time that I started the Foot Nerd course, that I was finding more balance in my diet. I think that mostly came from I really got I didn't want to have any food that came in packaging because I really realized how bad plastic and that is for the environment. So I was trying to make a lot more of my food and buy whole foods. So that really had a change for me. So it came not even from focusing on my weight anymore, but having an external factor, which I think is really important. So it's like, whilst I was on this big journey myself and I've been learning this whole time and like trying to help other people be comfortable in their own skin and teach them what to eat, I was still struggling through my own journey, and each step was one better than the other, you know. Eating only protein was better than starving myself and throwing up, and then going vegetarian was better than having all of those processed protein bars, and then cutting out gluten. Like they all were a step better. It's just been it's just been a really long journey. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy that I did the Foot Nerd program. And it just cemented in my mind about eating, you know, a well-balanced diet with whole foods and like focusing on just moving all the time. And it just sucks so much that it took me 20 years And like, so I have an interest in these things, and I love health and movement, and it took me so long to figure it out, and I just want so much to help other people figure this shit out too, so they don't have to go through all of the self-experiments that I have. I'm so grateful for everything that every part of my journey has taught me. I'm so grateful for the Foot Nerd program, for honestly changing my life and opening up my mind. And I can't wait to share everything that I've learned with everybody else.